I think we're back. I'm very sorry about the disruption. That was on my end. My internet was being me. Where were we? Did we read chapter 3 yet? I don't think so.
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What was...
You can go to chapter 4 if you want.
Sure.
Chapter 4. Lenina agrees to go to the reservation in New Mexico with Bernard. And Bernard meets with Helmholtz Watson, who, like him, is disillusioned with society, but for the opposite reasons. I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Society's too easy for me.
It's too easy.
Too hot. I'm too good looking.
I'm too himbo. Yeah. It's tough being so gorgeous.
I'm too smart.
I did get a kick out of how Lenina just like walked up to Bernard and was like, "Hey, you mean New Mexico? Bet. Bye. I'll see you later." I was like, all right, a forward girl. This is cool.
I mean,
not cool as we later learned, but
well, I don't think she's I don't think that's a unique trait.
No, but she was the first character who, like, one of the first characters who like stood out as a novel character. So I was like, oh, and I didn't really know. I didn't have an idea of what everyone acted like, and then I got the idea later. I was like, oh, they're just really open about that. Okay. That's just how life is.
My camera reset itself. When did it do that?
I don't know.
Come on.
Oh. Yeah, you were always kind of far away. This is actually a lot better. Cool.
Now you can see my pretty face.
Yeah, and then this was the first mention of the reservation, and I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna go visit. Okay, like I wasn't really sure how they were gonna depict it, but I think they might have mentioned like uncivilized.
Explain what it was at the time.
I don't remember at that point. Might have been the next chapter.
I knew what it was at that point, so I was like, yeah, okay, yep, they're going to the reservation.
Yeah.
So I didn't really
have
much of an opinion on that.
Fair. But yeah.
I like how Bernard's like, oh my god, no, not here.
No, not in public, Lenina. Yeah, no, he's very he's very different. Yeah. I do wonder if that was almost like an attempt to like, I don't know, like assuming that the reader would be like, oh, this society's whack. Like maybe they were like, oh, Bernard. Yeah, like but he's right because he's normal. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like maybe an attempt at the beginning, but not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing else really.
I mean, it definitely comes across that way. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It probably was intentional.
Yeah. Well, on top of it being a bit of like a disillusioned character after that, like, I mean, after halfway through the book, he just becomes totally different. So, because of what happens to him. Yeah.
Chapter 5?
Shaw.
Lenina and Henry go to the club and then back home together. Bernard goes to solidarity service, which is just weird as fuck. And I was like, what the hell is happening right now?
Sexy church.
He pretends to feel what the others are feeling, but doesn't.
But he's the odd one out.
If all of them are pretending.
I mean, yeah, maybe they don't actually feel anything, but they're like, oh, but other people must be, so of course I'm gonna act like that.
Yeah.
they're all they're all faking orgasms. Oh no. Yeah, that was
I,
that was weird.
I didn't understand why it existed, what it was, what was going on. I was just completely lost through that entire thing. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that's when they called it. That was the first time they called it orgy porgy, right, or whatever hell it's called. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like,
I
huh?
Were they having an orgy? I
It's
honestly couldn't
very,
tell.
it's hard to say. Yeah,
It seemed like they were just going around in a circle doing a conga line. Like
yeah,
what?
they're all dancing. Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's what orgies are in the future. Just one big conga line.
Maybe. Man, I've been in a lot of orgies then.
I got that dancing fever. Yeah, it was a weird part. I remember reading it and being like, I don't know what's happening here. And I don't know if it's intentional that I don't know what's happening here.
That was one of the few parts in the book where I was just like absolutely just what?
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, it's I don't have the book in front of me, so I can't read a passage, but it's just very odd.
It's told in a very ethereal way though that makes it hard to picture what's happening as well.
Well, yeah, because it's a bit of a they reach like a hallucinating state almost. Like they just everyone's like on a high and just enjoying it and whatever it is. Right.
Don't they like give them Soma as well or something?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think they
I thought that chapter was weird for another reason, which is Bernard literally had just spent a bunch of time saying, "Oh, I'm so different. I never I never have any relationships with anyone, and I
Yeah.
never take Soma."
Mm.
And then he walks into a room and has an orgy and takes Soma. Like, I know
Yeah.
you're like, it seemed very incongruous.
Yeah, I think and I mean honestly that's not a bad thing necessarily in terms of like what happens to Bernard cuz like then like we know that he I guess occasionally takes Soma, goes to the solidarity sermon, whatever the heck. Maybe doesn't
Yeah,
like it, but
that's true.
that makes it
He's not like
seem
cold turkey. Like I don't
e-
participate in society. He's just
yeah,
not
because
as
it makes it more
consistent.
believable when he changes. It's still a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, it's yeah, this was just all around a strange chapter.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know what was going on,
Yeah,
except for was this the one where they described the club? That was interesting.
yeah, I think so. Hmm.
Yeah, and it felt like it felt like somebody who was used to uh like flapper like 20s 30s dancing
Hmm.
tried to describe a modern nightclub.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Like what they imagine modern nightclubs would look like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he got the electronic music stuff down, but
Oh yeah, that was yeah. So he's he saw that future. Yeah.
Aldous Huxley predicted dubstep,
Yeah.
predicted house music.
Yeah, all the synthetic I think he just called it synthetic music, but yeah.
Yeah.
What a take. All the Huxley
Actually,
predicted house music.
when was the first
Excuse me.
was the electric piano invented?
Mm.
1929. Electric Grand.
Oh, okay. So it existed.
When was the synthesizer invented?
Oh. It's a good question actually.
Early electronic sound experiments started in the late 1800s with the telharmonium and the theremin. The theremin was invented
Oh,
in
theremin.
1928.
Really?
Telharmonium 1897.
Okay.
But the first proper electronic synthesizer was the RCA Mark I in 1956.
Neat. Yeah, no, he definitely...
According to the AI.
Of course, yeah. Interesting.
I don't know what the telharmonium did.
Not sure.
Telharmonium. Also known as the dynamophone. It was an early electric organ developed by Thaddeus Cahill in 1896 and patented in 1897.
Huh.
The electronic signal was transmitted over wires and was heard on the receiving end by means of horn speakers. It used tone wheels to generate musical sounds as electrical signals by additive synthesis. So it generated a bunch of sine waves and just with rotating wheels.
Interesting. So yeah, all that to say, yeah, he I mean, he had some ideas.
He didn't invent synthetic music, but
the synthesizer came later, so
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, let's move on from this weird ass chapter, which never has any relevance later. Chapter 6. Lenina and Bernard begin to date, and Lenina finds she doesn't understand him. Bernard is told that he needs to shape up or he'll get sent to Iceland. Lenina and Bernard travel to New Mexico and enter the reservation.
Yep. Yeah, that was the... So...
And his boss got all weird about, like, I went to the reservation once.
Yeah.
And I lost a woman.
Yeah. My God.
Don't you hate it when you lose a woman?
Don't you just hate it? I forgot that he was threatened to go to Iceland this early. Yeah. But
yeah.
But yeah,
and then,
I mean,
the next chapter he learns that the boss is like, oh, I'll give you get one more chance, and then immediately he's like, nah, never mind, he doesn't get a chance actually.
Nah, fuck that guy.
What the
hell? I lied. Yeah.
I have altered the deal.
Pray I don't alter it further. That I'm gonna go on a little mini tangent, but I don't know if you were here when I streamed the last time I was playing Force Unleashed.
Probably not.
Okay, there's a really funny cutscene with Darth Vader, and it's just his delivery. It's so funny. Like he breaks. So Starkiller is like gathering the rebels, and Darth Vader comes in and he's like, "Ha!" and he just like, you know, force chokes a bunch of people. Force tosses a fucking desk at Starkiller and like breaks his ribs or whatever, and he goes up, he throws the table, then starts walking calmly towards Starkiller. Starkiller gets the table off him, and he's like, "You were supposed to stay away!" And Darth Vader just goes, "I lied." And I went, hold on. The perfect delivery I've ever heard. That's amazing. I'll have to find the clip. It's so funny. Like, if I could have paused, I would have just paused to just...
Was it as good a delivery as...
No.
What have I done?
What have I done? I mean, it was damn close. Help, I built this Jeep. My friend brought that up with me the other day, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't know the meme?" She's like, "No, it's great."
So good.
It's so funny. Yeah, but I don't know. I was kind of like, I was interested in what would happen at the reservation when Bernard and Lenina went. I was a little annoyed at Lenina for most of the book at this point, but I was also getting the sense that maybe the author was setting her up to be like, oh, she's gonna go through some like really interesting change. To an extent she does, but not in the way that I thought that she would.
Yeah, in a very funny way.
I felt so bad. Oh, well, also in just a sad way.
Well, I don't
But
mean the end of the book. I mean like
mm,
once they're back in town and
oh yeah,
John won't talk to her.
yeah. Oh yeah, and her anxiety takes over. You must hate me.
No one's ever refused me before.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually.
He's my white whale.
But yeah, I was interested to see about the reservation. I was also a little hesitant because I'm like, oh, we're gonna get into this, and it's written in the 1930s. So, and I remember Googling. I was like, Aldous Huxley. He's a white Englishman. Okay, we'll see how this goes. So, but yeah, I'll express my thoughts more in the next few chapters.
Well, John does get referred to throughout the book as the Savage.
Yeah, yeah. In all of my summaries, I always call him John. I can't write that. Like,
I don't actually know. I think does that happen? Yeah, I think mine ends before they start calling him that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. My part's full of it. I'm like, awesome.
I do like when they call him Mr. Savage, though.
That is very funny. Yeah, yeah. I'm just like, come on, Mr. Savage. And he's like, what the like?
Adam Savage.
Adam Savage. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like that. This is the chapter where Bernard's like makes her look at the sea, and she's like, "It's horrible. I hate the sea.
It's so
Nature is an
boring."
abomination."
Yeah. He's like, yeah, but don't you just want to sit and just have a nice moment? She's like, you're weird. Let's leave.
I want to listen to the radio. And he's like, no.
No.
We're going to sit in silence and stare at each other.
This is going to be the best date ever. I'm such a gentleman. I mean, in the context of it, it is almost kind of funny because if he is a bit of the odd one out, where like, you know, everyone is like, yeah, let's be together, let's go and like be social, let's drive around and listen to the radio. Like, for her, like, she's just trying to find some normalcy here of what she thinks is normal, and this man's just like, you want to look at the sea, and she's like, I guess no. You want to look at the.
It's funny because like if you just take this scene and just put it into our society,
Yeah.
it's pretty romantic. Like you take,
Oh yeah.
you don't have the radio on. You just sit and hang out with your girl, overlooking a beautiful view,
Yeah.
all alone, and you make out at makeout point. And
Yeah.
but the thing is, she spends the entire time telling him, "I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
Let's
I don't
leave.
want to
wanna
be here. Yeah.
And he's like, "We're gonna do it anyway." Like,
Yeah.
that's the opposite of romantic, my dude.
Yeah, that's forcing her to just like deal
You
with
can have a
your
discussion about it, but don't just make her do shit like that.
yeah. No, you're gonna sit here and enjoy it, but I won't. Well, we're gonna like, you know.
You're gonna enjoy it. Damn it.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, I mean, is also a bit of a hint of like Bernard's not necessarily a good person that we see much later too, but I mean,
It's not. I think what ends up happening is we realize that Bernard's not disillusioned by society. He's disillusioned by how society
treats him. Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah. Because the
Whereas
minute that society likes him or like shows an interest in him, everything
Suddenly
goes out the window. Suddenly it's great. Yeah. He's like, oh.
Helmholtz is genuinely disillusioned by society.
That's why Helmholtz the goat. We love this man.
What a weird first name.
Yeah, I thought it
Why
was
is
his
that not
last
his
name.
last
Do we
name?
know his last
No,
name? What is his last?
Martin.
His last name is a first name. That's wonderful.
His last name is a first name.
Helmholtz
and his first name
Martin.
is very much a last name.
And we can't even say his parents named him that because he doesn't have parents.
Where do they get the name?
That's a great
something that they
question.
never answer.
They
Where do they
with
get
the
names?
names. Yeah.
Do they have like a cycling list or something, like
Well,
a randomizer?
Maybe because the names are also different. Bernard, Lenina, John, Helmholtz. Like, you know, it's
Well,
Mustafa
John is the
Mond.
reservation
Hmm?
name. Yeah, Mustafa. Like
Mustafa?
that,
Like, yeah, it's
that's a
maybe
cool
it is
fucking name.
randomized. I don't know.
It's just literally a letter randomizer.
That's so funny. I don't know. Yeah.
I was thinking it never really came up, but I was wondering if last names were their um uh whatever that word is, groups.
Uh,
Like
not surname. Like that kind of idea, or what do you mean?
they're because they do have last names, obviously.
They do.
Um, what is that word? It starts with a B and it's Russian.
Oh, I don't know.
Um, it's they remember you
Look
know
it
how
up.
they can create a bunch of people that are clones of the same process. Um,
Bukanovsky or whatever it is.
Bukanovsky, sure, that's close enough to Bokanovsky, yeah. I,
Bukanovsky, yeah.
do you think Bokanovsky groups are how they get their last names? Like they'll share a last name?
Yeah, maybe. Honestly. Bukanovsky's process. Yes, yes. From the book.
Which I don't think is a real process.
No, no, no. It's fictional. So, for anyone who maybe hasn't read the book, I can't even say it. The Bukanovsky's process. One is so that in the text it says 1 egg, 1 embryo, 1 adult. Normality. But a Bukanovskified egg will bud, will proliferate, will divide. From 8 to 90 buds, and every bud will grow into a perfectly formed embryo, and every embryo into a full-size adult, making 96 human beings grow where only one grew before. Progress. So it's just an increase from
It's essentially it's mechanical twinning.
Yes.
So when the zygote first divides into two cells, sometimes those end up splitting and becoming twins.
Right.
But what they've done is they've made it so that it doubles and it doubles and it doubles and it doubles until you get that big number, and then they just split all of them apart, and then just use those as each of them being a different human. The reason they can't do it infinitely, the reason they can't have infinite numbers, is because after a while after a while the cells become unique to different parts of the body instead of just being generic zygote cells.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, maybe that's the process they use for naming.
Maybe
that would be very funny.
Make sense. We never met anybody who was part
who had that like job
Volkanovsky group that wasn't like just a like look at those guys.
Yeah. Interesting.
I wonder if he thought about that at all, or if that was just like
I don't know,
aside
maybe
mattered to the story and didn't consider it.
Maybe, yeah. He's considered a lot in this book, I will say that, but yeah.
Where were we?
Chapter 5 or 6, I think.
Aha. Chapter 7.
Aha!
Lenina and Bernard travel to the Pueblo, which I didn't remember the name of, and meet the natives, who worship like 4 different gods, including Jesus.
Yeah.
Kong, and 2 other gods.
Oh, something with a P. Yeah. No, Pukong. That's what it was. Yeah.
One of them sounded like Aztec, and I don't remember what the 4th one was.
Yeah.
They meet Linda, who was the girl, obviously the girl left there by the director, and her son John.
Yeah.
I do like how it there's no subtlety in the foreshadowing. Like,
yeah,
he like pulls him aside. He's like, "This is a thing that happened where there was a woman and I was in there. This is important. Remember this for later." and then the first thing they do is
Bernard will remember this. Yeah, the butterfly symbol of bears. Yeah, this chapter and the next few chapters about the reservation felt kind of rough to me. Because I know that it's a, like, the indigenous peoples in the reservation are, like, they worship, like, a lot of different gods, and it's a bit of, like, an amalgamation of different cultures, I think. In the book, they do call them Indians, which, I mean, was, I guess, to be expected. Yeah. But it just felt like it was just rough, because I was like, oh, they have, like, a whole ritual sacrifice happening. I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
I don't think it's not a death sacrifice though. It's a blood sacrifice. Like
yeah.
they survive out the other end of it.
Yeah.
It's flagellation, which is actually a Christian thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, they worship Jesus, too. So it's, yeah, I felt like if this was written with more, like, modern, like contemporary accepted terms, I guess, I still think it would be, like, really controversial. Just because it's an amalgamation of things, and also they're calling the people in the reservation uncivilized, but that's literally because they don't live in the bright society they come from. But it's just rough. I was like, I didn't think there would be any mention of, like, well, maybe not any mention, but I didn't think there'd be, like, a major character that would come from, like, a different culture or a different life, like, referred to as an Indian and a reservation, but also they're not, like, they're white. They came from the society, and
Hey,
or
you
at
can
least
have a
Lynn.
non-white person be the main character.
But, like, that's the other thing too, right? Because then you have, you know, and as the book continues, John becomes a main character, and, like, that's also a little bit like, whoa, like, I mean, yeah, he's white, but, like, because he's basically considered to be, like, from that reservation, I mean, unfortunately they refer to him as the Savage, but like, I wish that, I don't know, I wish that like, part of me wishes that they just did something a lot more interesting's not the right word, but just a lot less rough. I get why they were like, oh, this boy comes from the society, and that's why they're white, I guess. And then, you know, but at the same, but I don't know.
I think that wasn't. I read that as not as a people with different colored skin end up in the reservation, but more of a, it's obvious that these people look different.
Fair. Yeah.
So it's like immediately like, oh, you're not from here.
Yeah. And, like, we'll talk about it in the other chapters too, but, like, because, I mean, it's honestly kind of funny. Because they're othered, like, they get, like basically violently bullied, like, in the reservation for not being from there. And it's a bit of a turning on its head to be like, hey, the white people are getting bullied. But, like, but it just felt rough. Like, I just felt so uncomfortable reading like this whole section. I was like, okay, neat.
It's interesting because I feel like if reading this for the first time, when going into the reservation, your immediate thought is they're going to show us something that on the outside seems terrible and the society doesn't like it, but turns out that it's actually really nice there and they learn to love it. But
Yeah.
it's just not that.
It's not. No.
It's these people have been fully oppressed.
Yeah.
They do not have any technology because they haven't been allowed any. They've been ostracized from society.
Yeah.
It is awful.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the direction at this point that I thought the book was going to go was, like I was saying, like, I thought Bernard was going to be like, no, there's beauty in natural things. And that, like, the whole scene with him and Lenina, like, looking over the lake, I was like, that's
Yeah.
That's going to be it. He's going to go into the reservation and he's going to be like, wow, these people, like their way of life is so like it's got pain, it's got happiness, it's got like, oh, we should strive for this. But it really doesn't go that direction. And that's breaking a mold, because again, this book isn't trying to find a solution to a problem. It's just exploring several problems. So I think, like, while I was uncomfortable reading these chapters, I was also like, I think I'm supposed to feel a little bit uncomfortable here. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's actually one of the things I remember discussing in school, is how uncomfortable the reservation is, and how that was the point. Like that, you should feel uncomfortable in the reservation because it's written in such a way that's meant to make it seem uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In relation to the society that they come from, where it's like everything's so great and and shiny, and then like here's how the other half live.
Yeah. And again, like, if something like, if the way that it was described was brought forward in a contemporary book, like, there would be so many controversies. I'm actually surprised. Like, I thought there'd be more written about it, about the reservation, like for academic papers and stuff, because I mean, for classic novels, like, you can find so much academic articles on this stuff.
Did you
right?
not find any, or
Not initially. I didn't look that deeply, I will say, but I did find it, like, there was a lot of articles and a lot of like journals on the book, but I just didn't find too much on that, or at least that was new either. I think the latest I saw was maybe like 2014. But
I think that might just be because it's not the point of the book.
I know, yeah. I also recognize that, like, this is me reading it in 2025, putting my own, like, I think, like, there's some expectations that I would have. I was hoping that, I was like, it's gonna be the 1930s, so it's not gonna be, I know it's not gonna be great, but maybe it'll be a really interesting, like, exploration of, like, indigenous culture or something, and maybe it'll be like groundbreaking, or I had no idea. Like, I didn't know what this book was gonna tackle, to be honest. So
it's not clear what it's about.
No. No.
I mean, if you read the back, it's a little clear that it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a future where humans are genetically bred and pharmaceutically anesthetized.
Yeah, it's like, it's the premise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the premise, but
But
it doesn't really give too much away about what the story's about.
yeah, so I wasn't really, so yeah, I just it's one of those, and I think I might have mentioned it before, but when I finished reading the book, and even when I finished reading these sections, like, I just had to sit down and think about it. But I had a bunch of questions buzzing in my head. I was like, well, I felt uncomfortable reading this, but that does seem to be the intention here. He was like, it's really interesting that they're exploring this, and I mean, like, later on he brings up, like, Zuni culture, I think, specifically, or Zuni language, and I was like, I didn't even know about that one, but I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, at least he's bringing some awareness to that, language, culture. But
it's interesting because this is by far the most but in, like, if you think about all the times when it's like, oh, something weird or uncomfortable happens in a story, and we're like, oh my god, author, what are you doing? This is crazy. How are you doing this? I don't feel that while reading this. I'm never like, oh my god, Aldous Huxley, what the hell? It's just like, it just makes sense in the context, I guess. It feels like a exploration of it more so than like, why did you include that? What the hell, dude? I
got a little bit what the hell with Aldous Huxley here, to be honest, but I know that's just because it's like, indigeneity in novels, especially classic novels, is difficult or not there, you know? So
Yeah.
it's just a difficult situation, but I do understand it from the context of the book. And I will say that like the characters' actions, like that are, you know, like John's actions, we talked about him being violent, they make
Mm.
sense because of everything that he's experienced. And it's not necessarily like John might have some, you know, mental issues. I'm sure he does. But at the same time, it's painting it as like, well, he was this is what he experienced. It's society, it's his society that's really messed him up. Similar to how
His mother was definitely drinking while pregnant with him.
oh yeah, yeah. And like yeah, like it rings of like it reminds me of like stories of survivors and family members of survivors of like residential schools, for example, where they'll talk about like this intergenerational trauma that they'll have that just comes from this thing that happened in their family, which,
Mm.
you know, made it so that they're, you know, the survivors couldn't talk about it, or they didn't know, they didn't really express love in the way that other families would have, that they would have known, like just really tough stuff that's just passed on to with each generation. And while it just reminded me of it, so I was like, if John wasn't white, this would be a really interesting like early example of like intergenerational trauma. But yeah, but I think it's also just saying like, hey, there's some stuff that happened to this guy. There's a reason he's a little violent. He's a lot violent.
Well, I mean, nature versus nurture, more
Mm,
so on the nurture side, is a huge theme of this book anyway.
yes.
Like the
Yeah.
idea that who a person is defined the by the way they are
Yeah.
brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this dude has read like one book his entire life,
Yeah.
and he's gotten a few stories before being ostracized, and then got a book.
Yeah.
And like
And that's what he knew. Yeah.
throughout the book, like he wouldn't have words for things, and
Yeah.
his only word for things would be from Shakespeare. So
Yes. Yeah.
he had to basically reconcile his own trauma
Mm-hmm.
with the trauma that was present in the societies he was reading about, and
Yeah.
the emotions that he was reading about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like I mean, not to spoil the end, but like when he's having those dark thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's very easily attributable to the fact that that's what he knows.
Yeah.
That's what he's been taught.
Yeah.
Or like that's yeah, that's the basis of his knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As mixed with it's the translation of his own experiences onto a limited data set.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
It's like when it's like when you take an AI that's been trained on a small amount of data, and then give it a a prompt that is unrelated to that original training set. It's like how does it doesn't do a good job of it, and it makes wrong assumptions,
Yeah.
or just surprising assumptions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's something along those lines.
Yeah. No, I agree. I see that.
I should hurry up because we're talking a lot.
I know. I know.
Not halfway.
I'll probably put like combined chapters.
I mean, there's only 9.
Oh, I know. I just
Um,
mean that's fair. Anyway, go on.
Chapter 8.
Hmm.
John remembers his life from childhood and recounts it to Bernard. They commiserate about being alone, and Bernard asks John if he wants to return to the other place with them, the society.
The society. Yep.
Um, yeah, that was rough.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
reading about his child, but I don't think there's anything, at least for me, that we need to go over, other than the fact that
No, I think we've gone into it a bit.
yeah, I feel like we've gone over most of the important things
Yeah.
related to that. But
I
I
oh,
completely forgot that. Um, like I was surprised when he's like, "Hey, you want to come with us?" I had completely forgot that was even a thing.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, the only thing that we didn't really talk directly about was the relationship, quote unquote, that Linda had with what was it?
Pepe or whatever.
Pope, I think his name was.
Pope.
Pope. Which was and which was like a bad thing. Like it well, at the very least John didn't like Pope because of how he
Yeah.
like how he was with his mom. It was
It
it
didn't
was
seem like Pope was at any point being a bad person,
mm,
but it definitely felt like it didn't feel like to me like he was taking advantage of her. It just felt like it was kind of just one of those weird relationships.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think maybe, I mean, a lot of what John talked about with Pope was from a like child's perspective of someone who does love his mom, even though she can be, she drinks, so sometimes she can be a little violent
And
with him.
he is this he, and Pope was the source of her drink.
Was yeah, because he would offer it and bring it and yeah. Um or she would like just need to cope somehow and would just have it, right? Yeah.
I can't speak to whether Pope was a good person or not, but I don't think he was necessarily a bad person. Just
No, we just know that
he
John
seemed
didn't
like
like
the
them
bad guy from John's
from John's perspective. Yeah. So I mentioned that because it comes up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think we touched on most stuff.
I mean, it was a little weird that it's like everybody's fine with him, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll play with the other kids and whatnot, and they're teaching him stuff, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna do the thing, and they let him show up, and then he gets there, and they're like, no, fuck you. Like, that was sudden.
Oh, jeez.
Suddenly he's ostracized. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Hmm. Interesting.
I also was he bilingual, like fully bilingual? I couldn't tell.
He's
He does say
he
some
said like two
things.
phrases in Zuni, I think they say at some point.
Yeah.
And obviously he speaks what I assume is English. Because everyone else speaks
They
it.
do say it's English.
It is English? Okay. I
it's
don't know if fully, maybe. I mean he's been there a long time. And I think, I mean, there was that bit where he was learning like about their like, I kind of hate to say it,
Myths
but like,
and stuff.
yeah, like myths, and then he was like, oh, I know they taught me about the spirit animals and everything, and I'm like, okay. So he had to understand them, so I assume maybe he's a bit, I don't know about fully bilingual, but he probably understands base words, maybe.
Jesus is my spirit animal.
Oh my god.
Gonna go fucking crucify myself. Then I'll
Big
feel
ups
better.
to J. Chris. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He's a real one.
It's
Pour
pour one
one
out for the homie.
for a real one.
For real. Oh my god. But yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Chapter 9.
Bernard.
Bernard contracts the controller,
Mustafa Mond.
Mufasa. Um, and secures permits to extract John and Linda, whilst John breaks into their little house and just fucking creeps the hell on Linda. Like,
Yep.
what the hell,
Yep.
bitch?
He's like, I'm gonna.
Like,
Didn't he
fuck,
like snip
what?
her purse or some shit? Like he just like went for it or something.
He like starts sniffing her panties or
Yeah.
whatever.
Just
And,
yeah.
like, and then I do love the this reminds me that the whole zipper thing. Well, Huxley's obsession with zippers being in the future.
Yeah. Everybody has
His
multiple
days
zippers.
with their zippers.
That is a little funny.
It's like in the 70s when everyone
Zippers.
thought that people in the like 50s, 60s, 70s, everybody in the future would be wearing like velour and and fucking spandex.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, and like I was a little shocked by the by John creeping on Linian a bit.
Invented?
I don't know. Cuz I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But at the same time he like
The zipper.
Mm.
The zipper was first made commercially viable in 1923. So it is a
So it's pretty new. He's like, everybody will wear zippers. 50.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He predicted Kingdom Hearts, like that style.
I mean, we do all wear zippers.
It's fair. It's fair. But yeah, he I
could just zip that down and then she'd be naked.
Yeah, I was like, and at the same time he was also like, no, but I'm not worthy of her. I'm so pure and she's so high above me. And I'm like, what are you, huh? Are you fighting with like good Christian teachings and marriage versus like you've got a boner? Like, I'm very confused here. Maybe that's what it was, but it went a little extreme later.
And
yet, but I must be chaste. I must be pure.
I love how he just like fully smashes the window in. And then just, like, goes goblin mode and starts smelling her luggage.
Yeah, he breaks in and he's like, I could just do that. Oh, the way's open. Hey, it's gonna kiss. Like, are you okay, dude? Jesus.
He's like a fucking raccoon discovering that he can break a window.
Oh my god. I also thought that I didn't actually think this would happen, but I was really intrigued by the idea of John and Linda coming along. I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's actually an interesting concept. Let's see how they perceive society. Especially because, like, Linda lived there before. And so she'd be returning. But yeah. So, like, at that point, I was like, oh, neat. I wonder where this will go.
I did love the whole, like, Bernard getting on the phone and being like, I have some people you might want to see.
You might, yeah.
And Mufasa's like, very well.
You intrigue me.
It's like my secret plan to get my job back by fucking humiliating
the director. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So that was chapter 9 then, yeah?
Yeah, that's the end of my writings.
All right. It's up to me now. Let's see. So I had chapter 10 to 18, I think it was. Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. So chapter 10. The director brings Bernard forward, they've come back to the society, and he brings him forward and publicly announces that he is a detriment to society and will be sent to Iceland to serve the lower ranks. Bernard responds by bringing forth Linda and John. Linda calls the director Tomakin and proclaims him the father of her child, to his shock and embarrassment. And everybody laughs at him.
And he runs out of the room crying.
He's like, yeah. Because he's like moving his whole body during it. Yeah.
I do the whole I'm gonna humiliate my boss thing makes a bit more sense when he literally like the way he was being fired was through a humiliation ritual.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
It's
for
like,
sure.
you're gonna humiliate me? No, I ain't gonna humiliate you.
No, me. I have the high ground.
Frick me? How about
Frick
frick you?
you. Yeah, it's the same energy. Oh my god. Yeah, because the director's like, this man doesn't stand for anything in our society. He's proven time and time again that he's just not worth our time. You will be sent to Iceland, sir. And Bernard goes, oh yeah? How about your wife? Or not even, your fucking lady that you slept with and impregnated. Here you go.
Baby mama.
Baby mama. And Toma can't. She like wraps his arms around him and he's like, like he doesn't know what's happening.
I don't understand her reaction there. Like, why does she like him? Isn't she like he abandoned me and
I know, yeah,
she's,
like
really pissed at him, and then she's like, "Oh my love." It's like
part of me wonders if that was a little bit of an act for fun,
I
but
was wondering that too.
because it feels like it, yeah. Because she would have, because if she was already like talking shit about him, like she'd be like, "Ha, I can humiliate him in front of all of his colleagues."
So she's described as like extremely horrific and like
Oh yeah, sagging, ghastly, yeah.
Is she just
old.
middle-aged?
Basically,
Or
that's how I took it.
She actually like has like obvious health issues and stuff. I couldn't tell because he does say she has black nails.
I assume that was just from maybe she's like a little dirty, like a little unclean,
Oh,
like dirt under the nails. Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah,
I think she's just middle aged. Yeah, she's just in her 50s, like, you know.
This hideous creature.
She's sagging in all these places and she's fat. Like, okay.
I did like when Aldous Huxley's like, yeah, she's not like these other people with their tight young bodies.
Oh, those were some words. Yeah.
It's the 1930s. They haven't invented internet porn yet.
Oh god. Yeah, I like that. It just goes, they haven't invented internet porn yet. They haven't the internet yet, but internet porn.
Well, yeah. Why do you think they invented the internet? Wasn't the very first thing sent like downloaded from a website a nude image?
Probably.
I think that's the case. I think that's actually like a known thing.
Have you heard the Avenue Q song, The Internet is for Porn?
I have. Yes.
Nice, yes. I actually saw that recently live.
It's actually very interesting. Pornography and things thereof drive most industries. Like,
yeah,
the creation of most of the internet was through like porn sites. VHS was bolstered by porn.
Yep, that I know.
VR, what the thing that got that off the ground, porn. AI,
of course.
Most AI is used to make porn.
Yep.
Like it's the driver.
The world revolves around porn.
the entire like high quality 3D animation space is due to people making Overwatch porn. I'm not even joking about that one. That is how animations that is how animation has become so 3D animation has become so good, is because people just made really good Overwatch porn from the original Overwatch game.
Oh my god. Yeah, I believe it. Oh my god.
It's just such a weird thing. I mean, I guess at our base we're just horny bags of meat, so
yeah.
It's like one of our 3 biggest motivators.
And the moral of this conversation is Aldous Huxley was right. We're all just horny bags of meat.
on our fucking SSRIs.
Yeah.
Our Soma.
Or Soma.
That's what the S stands for.
Soma, yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll read the next one too because it's pretty short. So chapter 11. Oh, hold on. Phone's going off. There we go. The director resigns, and both Bernard and Lenina are enjoying the high life as John is introduced to the new society. He learns he is increasingly displeased the more he experiences. That's a very basic summary, but
Bernard becomes a twat.
big twat. Yeah, he's just like, everybody wants me. I'm gonna have a woman on each of my shoulders. Give me that Soma. I'm the best. I'm like, huh? Like, oh.
There's it's not here yet, but they go to like the college or whatever or something.
Yeah.
And he just like slaps the principal in the ass or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, okay, Bernard.
Oh yeah. Because any like when they're, I don't think I actually summarized that, but it is coming up. Like he basically is like, oh, I'm gonna like Bernard thought to give her a good slap on the ass to see like what or slap on the rump to see how she felt about it, and then he like missed his chance like twice or something, and I'm like, bro, stop.
I think he grabbed her.
Oh yeah, he was like grabbed her waist and wanted to get a quick pinch in. I think that was the line. I was like, no. Bernard, I thought you're gonna be a very different character. How far you fall from grace.
I've never understood the mechanics of pinching a butt. Like, how do you do that?
It's kind of tough. It's very yeah.
Like I can see taking your whole hand and like squeezing it.
Yeah.
But like pinching it, how do you do that?
Oh no, that's fair. Yeah, you can.
It's
yeah.
constantly a thing. It's like, oh, pinching the girls' butts and the serving maids' butts. It's like, how are you?
How do you have to physically? How do you do that? Yeah, no, I always assume it's just like a full
hurting them. How do you?
Yeah,
like, I could see you like doing that, but it would hurt. Man.
It would. It yeah.
Like, that is not sexy.
No, God, no, not at all. No. Now, I always assume when it, like, if I'm reading something, it says, like, oh, pinch this, unless it's, like, I know that they're just using, like, their thumb and their forefinger, I'm like, they're pinching ass, they're probably just clamping.
Whole hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And and actually at that point, I didn't mention it in the chapter, but, Linda also, like, after that whole charade, the whole thing, I was like, oh, what's gonna happen to Linda? They just give her a fuck ton of Soma, and the doctor's like, hey, she's not gonna live long, but at least she'll be happy. I'm like, huh?
They basically put her on the morphine diet.
Oh yeah, she just right to the hospital bed. Well, actually no, she doesn't go to the hospital immediately.
She goes on permanent vacation.
Yes, that's what they called it. Yeah, she just gets like a massive dose, and she just like chills at home all day, and I'm like,
Linda's on a vacation far away.
It's based
Just relax and take your Soma.
Nice. Yeah, and so after that's happening, like, John is like, oh, I don't know if I like this. Like, he this is the person who, like, idolized or idealized, or whatever the word is, like, this society, because his mom talked, like, really wonderfully about it. She's like, oh, it was great, you could do this, you could do that, you did want for nothing. And now that he gets there, he's like, oh, I'm severely disillusioned. This is not what I thought it would be. Yeah.
There's not actually any real entertainment here other than drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Like, if you think about it, there's like, they mention 3 sports, and that's all they ever do. And they go to clubs. Like, they go to clubs,
yeah, right, because it's like golf and like
I'm so
something
annoyed that he never explains exactly what obstacle golf is.
Obstacle golf, yeah.
It sounds kind of legitimately fun. Obstacle golf? Hell yeah.
I just keep thinking it's like mini putt. Like, that's all I can think of. But actually, when was mini golf? When was mini golf invented?
That's a good question.
Because maybe it is mini golf. Mini golf.
Maybe it is.
I feel like it's just miniature golf in the 1950s. No. Did Aldous Huxley invent mini golf?
I don't think it was mini golf, though.
No, it can't have been.
I think it was big golf, but with obstacles.
It's big golf.
Like,
Oh
then
my
there's,
god.
what is it, like Bumble Puppy? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, I don't know what the fuck. I still don't know what Bumble Pup Poppy is. I don't understand it.
It's it like it the thing spins around and randomly shoots balls out and you have to catch them. And that's for some fucking reason called Bumble Puppy.
Yeah, it's very odd. Oh, here's a great I just looked up obstacle golf and I'm pulling it up on I found a Reddit post that just makes me laugh. Obstacle golf sounds interesting. It's like mini golf, but not so mini and more destructive, potentially life-threatening, and honestly, that's the only acceptable way to play golf.
Every hit's a 4.
Oh my god.
You just hit into a crowd and you
Pray.
miss them.
Yeah.
And if you hit them, it's okay. They just send them to the crematorium and reclaim them.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's another thing. It's like that isn't a terrible way to do death. Like that's actually a really efficient and good for the environment way to handle death, and also a mature way to handle death. Like you don't need to be sad that people are dead. They just are.
Yeah, because and that was like a I mean, we'll talk about it a bit later, but there was a whole like death conditioning that they have in their society when at a young age. Like they literally just take kids in to be like, this person's dying. This is just part of life. You don't know this person, so they just died. Rip.
Not saying we should actually do this, but there is something to be said for conditioning people to just be okay with death as a concept.
Yeah.
Because it's such a, I mean, obviously you need to be scared of death.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll take risks that you shouldn't be taking.
Of course, yeah.
But like to a certain degree, you don't want to die.
Yeah.
But also fear of death is such a huge motivator of negative things, as well as like if someone you're close with dies, like that's a huge mental toll.
Yeah.
That is not it's not helpful. Like it's a net negative to your person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's possible to get some emotional good from it, but I don't think that's worth the experience at all. Like,
no,
I think it's just better to be very accepting of it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a very interesting concept. That it's one of the few things where I'm just like, yeah, you know what? that's not that bad.
Plus, by all means, stick them in a crematorium and recycle as much as you can.
Yeah,
I guess
reduce, reuse, recycle.
To be fair, burying people is recycling as long as you're not putting them in a mausoleum.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But
yeah. And actually, I'm curious. When was cremation like?
Oh.
When was that? Was that popularized?
1700s?
Probably. Popularized.
That sounds like the type of shit they do in Victorian London.
History of cremation. We love it.
And there's also like old cremation, like we throw some like Viking burials, for instance. That's technically cremation.
That's
it's
fair. The boat
cremation.
on fire. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And like putting people on a pyre, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But like in like actual like cremation, like
yeah,
put them in a thing and it burns the body to like a
yeah,
just body.
Yeah.
Like I don't know when they invented that.
Let's see. There's a crematory that opened in 1884 in Pennsylvania. Modern cremation, 1873-ish. So late 19th century.
The Cremation Association of North America.
That's what I'm looking at.
Where'd you get 1873? It says Or maybe I'm just
So
not looking at the
so in the section where it says modern cremation as we know it actually began only a little over a century ago, after years of experimentation and the development of a dependable chamber. When Professor Ludovico Brunetti of Italy finally perfected his model and displayed it at the 1873 Vienna Exposition, the cremation movement started.
Oh, okay. So that was the invention, and then the other one in
Yes.
Pennsylvania was the first facility.
Yes. I think so. Anyway, yeah, neat. Okay. I was curious about the modern idea. Yeah.
I love reading old books so we can, because then we end up being like, man, when was that invented?
Yeah.
What was this?
Prompts us to be like, oh, I want to know more. Yeah. was this author like actually seeing the future, or yeah.
Inventing mini golf.
Oh, so funny.
Inventing zippers.
Oh yeah, no, he loved his zippers.
Inventing house music.
I'm gonna read another one of his books, and if he doesn't mention zippers, I'm not gonna finish it.
I read the description of one of his other books. Eyeless in Gaza.
Oh.
It's a loosely autobiographical novel of a man's search for an alternative to the moral disillusionment of the modern world.
Whoa, that sounds like Aldous Huxley. Interesting.
And another one called Island is...
Island, I've heard
a
of.
remote Pacific island where, for 120 years, an ideal society has flourished.
Yes. Yeah, Island was mentioned, like, there was a little, like, mini blurb about, like, check out books by Aldous Huxley. And this one and Island... I think it's more, this is a dystopia, and that's a little more utopian. I think that's what it said.
Oh, but this time, it says, on the island of Pala, as in Brave New World, science has helped to advance the founders' plans. But this time, those plans have the goal of freeing each person, not enslaving him.
Yeah, so it's a... So this is the dystopian novel, and that's the utopian. Now we gotta read The Island. Shit. Any other thoughts before I move on?
Which chapter was that?
That was chapter 11.
Oh yeah, 11. I remember that one.
That was where it's the beginning of like Linda.
No, it actually wasn't the ass squeezing one.
No, no, it wasn't. Linda gets put on massive amounts of Soma. John's like, this society sucks. Yeah.
No, I don't think I have more to say.
Yeah, cool. I will probably combine the... No, I won't, actually. That's pretty... There's a lot that happens. Okay. Chapter 12. Bernard publicly hosts a party and invites the... Oh, I didn't... chicken scratch this. And invites the arch community songster. There we go. To meet John. John refuses, John refuses, and the arch community songster, greatly displeased, leaves. Lenina feels that John is avoiding her to her great dismay. Bernard reconciles with Helmholtz, who we've talked about a bit as being the best character, who tells Bernard that he was reprimanded for speaking poetic rhymes he wrote about being alone. Helmholtz and John connect with John introducing Helmholtz to Shakespeare. I
mean, I would say that Bernard reconciled with Helmholtz because his internal monologue was, I'm gonna make these guys suffer.
yeah. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I should have probably put quotes around reconciles. No, he was like, man, they both hate me. I'm gonna just like be a little nuisance and put them together, and they're gonna hate me more. Like,
and then I'll punish them with words.
yeah, no. I'm just increasingly just realizing like Bernard fucking sucks. Like he's just not a good character. Yeah, this was the chapter that made me really like Helmholtz. Like I already kind of liked him, but I'm like, oh no, he's a pro. I like him. He's like, I wanted to spit my own rhymes, and they went, that's fucked up, and I got reported to the authorities.
your mention of the community songster or whatever
Yeah.
reminded me of how funny it fucking is that they have like a director of propaganda.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's how society works. Also, like,
Yeah, I go to propaganda college
Yeah.
to learn how to write propaganda for the propaganda engine.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's neat. Also, this is the first chapter. I think it was this chapter, maybe a little bit from before, but like Lenina is like really intrigued by John, and she's like, "Oh, I must have him. Like, he's so interesting." But every time she tries to like go to talk to him, he just doesn't come out and see people. Like, he just wants to be by himself and read Shakespeare. That's all he wants to do. And she just like is like, "Oh my god, he must hate me. Ah, how could anyone not want to hang out with me?
No one has ever refused my charms before."
Yep. Like, and I was like, "Oh, anxiety got you down, girl. I'm sorry." Like, that's a bummer.
So in reading that, it feels like she's changing, like, and she's like developing something along the lines of like a crush on a particular person. But in thinking back, I think she's just wants to. Like I said, it's a white whale. Like, she just wants to complete that challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think she is like going against her programming or anything. I think it's just this is the first time she's genuinely been up against someone who fully seems to be rejecting her.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point I was with everything that's happened with Lenina, of her going to New Mexico and then coming back to society and then like being kind of pretty infatuated with John. I was like, oh, I want, like, it felt like to me that maybe there was going to be a progression of like she was going to, like, at first I was like, oh, she's going to reject Bernard's ideas of being alone, but maybe she's going to like think about it some more. Like, she definitely had some like really kind of a little more radical thoughts when she was like in the reservation, and I was like, oh, and then maybe she'll like fall in love with John and like that'll really like change her mindset.
Did she have radical thoughts?
Maybe not radical. She had like a moment where like so first when she got there she was like, oh my god, this is awful, disgusting. Yeah,
I hate it.
But there is a moment where she's looking out at the community. They're on like a, I don't know, second story of some building or something, and she just kind of thinks like, wow, like that's really impressive. Like, there's some positive aspect that she gives to it. I don't remember specifically what it was, but I do remember she remarked about it. It was like a 2-sentence thing, and I was like, oh, she's changing.
She's gonna have character growth.
She's gonna have character growth. And then the ending happens, you know? We'll get to it, but
Yeah.
There's a lot that happens to that Ash girl. Oh my god. Yeah. 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 And so I quite liked the scene of John showing Helmholtz Shakespeare, and like how like any mention of like a mother or a father figure, Helmholtz just fucking bursts out laughing. He's like, ha, that's hilarious. And John's like, why are you making fun of it? He goes, no, like, and at some point Helmholtz is like, sorry, it's just a little ridiculous for me, you know. But he's trying to be like, my bad, like, I know it's different for you. And he like criticizes Shakespeare at some point, I think.
Whereas Bernard is fully like, oh, you're stupid Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. Why am I,
He becomes French.
I do not know. Oh, un baguette.
Poisson. Yeah. Yeah. I increasingly don't like Bernard. But yeah, this was an amusing chapter, if nothing else. Yeah.
I liked it.
It was good. And I also thought that, like, because him and John and Helmholtz were connecting, I was like, oh, maybe they'll, like, form an, like, an unlikely friendship or something.
Maybe they'll have a big old gay orgy.
An orgy-porgy.
Orgy orgy.
Because John will love that.
Yeah, John loves promiscuity.
Promiscuity.
And yeah.
That's his whole thing, don't you know?
They should have just taken him to a community orgy thing that they do, you know? He would have loved that.
Yeah, I would have loved that. Jeez.
Orgy porgy.
Orgy porgy. Chapter 13.
Man, so I don't mind the idea of like a fully sexually open society.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I know I'd be the one that nobody wants to have sex with. And I would just be like, literally everyone else is having sex with everyone else except for me. Like I know that's exactly what would happen in that society.
I'm sure there would be some people who were just like, because that would make you feel like inadequate. Like it could happen to anyone, to be honest. Like, if you don't meet a certain standard, then you're gonna be like, well, shit, nobody wants to have sexy fun times with me. Like, now I'm gonna feel bad. Oh, may as well take Soma, and then not even forget about it. Just like feel happy and just like get on with life. So
I'm 100% sure that in a society like that, I would be a Bernard. Not in the bad parts of that, but
not in the asshole way.
yeah, in the like, I am singled out. I'm different.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fair. I mean, technically, I would also, in terms of like I know I'm not skinny, and I'm like, so like I wouldn't be like they're perfect, whatever.
they'd
Body
look at
type.
you in horror and be like, "What is this creature?
What is this? You're flabby.
You look over 20."
Yeah. Yeah, really. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Receding hairline. Ah!
Oh, good. Wild. Alright, let's do chapter 13. 13. Lenina confronts John to determine what he really thinks of her. Learning that he is... Oh yeah, this is a rough chapter. Learning that he is deeply in love and wants to prove himself worthy of her. She begins to remove her clothes and make advances on John, but he screams and calls her a whore, forcing her to flee to the bathroom in terror. As he paces in his room, he receives a phone call and immediately rushes out, with Lenina leaving soon after. This chapter went very different than I thought it would, and I was upset.
He's just like, "Get out of my house, you whore!"
Yeah, you whore?
You damn whore.
Is this also... I think this is also the chapter where he starts calling her a strumpet. Really likes that word.
Trumpet's like the last chapter.
Is it? I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't have the book in front of me. I can't actually confirm.
I did enjoy the humor of her, like, being like, "Okay, like, just here, come on, like."
Yeah, just come here.
Let's just fuck.
Yeah. Come on.
Get over here.
Nothing
and
to
also
it.
the humor of, "Can I have my clothes back?"
Can I have a bell? Yeah. It was just so, like, just uncomfortable, because like he just starts yelling obscenities at her, and it's one of those things where I was like, okay, so I mean, actually, to be honest, it is a bit of an interesting scene in terms of like he talks about like, well, people get married before they do this, and like people have a relationship. But she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm gonna get naked. Let's do it, right? Because she continuously doesn't understand, like, when people are saying like, maybe we should do this, and she's like, but that's against society. What are you talking about? Like, this is how we live. And she just kind of refuses to like think anything beyond that. But then you feel awful for her, because then this is the first chapter where John actually shows that he's actually quite violent. I'm pretty sure he like grabbed her by the shoulder and like
throws her
bruised her.
across the room.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I gotta go. Like she runs and hides in the bathroom, and he's just pacing in anger, and I'm like, that's awful. Like that's basically like an abusive. It's more or less like an abusive situation. So I'm like, oh God. And then she waits for him to leave so that she can leave safely. And yeah, I was just like, oh, I like, cause we have so many moments in the book where he's like, oh, of course I love her, like of course I'm infatuated with her, but then he's like, I can't think these thoughts, they're too impure. And to be honest, like, with everything that happened in his life, like I can see why he maybe becomes violent. It's just sad because it's just unfortunate of like everything that's happened. It's unfortunate for her, it's unfortunate for him. He becomes a bit of a great character, a great protagonist too.
It does feel a little out of place, as in, like, I wasn't expecting that of him. I think it'd make more sense if this was after the hospital scene, because that's where he's truly like,
Yeah.
radicalized.
Yeah.
With, I fucking hate this place. This is awful. I hate everything here.
Yeah.
But before that, it's just like, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like maybe the
His
author
outburst feels out of place.
fair. I think the author was trying to put them in so that like beforehand so that stuff like the hospital scene would make a little more sense and the ending. I wouldn't say it felt entirely out of place. It just felt like how he reacted was in a way that he was taught something and he's being violent because of like, I mean, I kind of attribute it to like what happened with his mom and with Pope. Not to say that like we know exactly like all that happened, but he has a very strong like moral compass to be like, I have these feelings like he thinks that like, you know, you have to get married before you have sex, you have to like, you know, court a woman, you have to show you that you're worthy of her, and she's skipping all those steps, and now he's frustrated and he's like, no, I don't, I really, I care for you, but his anger and his upset with misunderstanding her is overpowering any other feeling that he had. And in a way, like, the scene is a scene of misunderstanding. She doesn't know what the heck he's talking about for marriage and everything, and he doesn't know why she's stripping in front of him, because he's like, this is ridiculous. The difference is that he got violent and she didn't, because she doesn't have that experience.
Yeah, it may just come down to anger issues. Yeah.
Yeah, and
like that's just who he is.
Yeah, and that's it's not to say obviously that like, I think we talked about it a bit before the stream, but like that's not to say that everybody who lives in the reservation and comes to society is going to react in the same way as John. I think that's maybe why that might be part of a reason why he kind of gave John a bit of a rough childhood, because not necessarily everybody would have that experience on the reservation. They would have like a rough life, but his was just different because his mother came from society. They look different. They dress different, you know. So yeah, it was an uncomfortable scene, but it is kind of the beginning of what kind of really happens with John's character, and honestly gives him a lot of interesting angles to his character. Not great. I don't like that he's violent, but I feel like it presents maybe a bit of a conflict within the reader, because as the reader you're like, oh yeah, he loves Shakespeare. Shakespeare's a prolific playwright. If you were religious, you were like, yeah, he believes in God, like in Jesus Christ. that's a benevolent being who wants to see that everybody do good, basically.
And he wants you to whip yourself on the back.
Yeah,
Point
yeah.
one.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, he's just very like it's
God will
like
be mad at you if you don't hurt yourself, because then you'll be sinning because you'd be happy, and happiness is sin.
exactly. So it's almost like he's like an over exemplification of these strong morals that he just gives into like if he goes against it, if any part of his being is like basically if he gets a boner, he's like, oh, I have to whip myself. Like I this is impure thoughts. So yeah, and again, I feel like that's just like an analysis that Huxley is giving of, I mean, it's a character analysis, but also just of the different societies and conditioning that people have, because because these two are just so opposed. I was thinking that maybe she would, open up a little bit more, but truthfully, neither of them really did. Neither of them really explored. Like she thought about it, but then she was just like, nah, you know what? I miss society. Soma's good. Also, this man's hot and he doesn't like me. And John is just like, the reader assumes he would not give into society because the reader, for the most part, is agreeing with John's morals until this point, basically. So, yeah.
I wonder if this is intentionally showing flaws in John to make him not the obvious good guy.
I think so. I think it's drawing back to that whole discussion of like, we're like, the author's not presenting a solution. He's just observing. He's just, here's the society, here's the people. People are morally gray. So, which is uncomfortable, but that's why it's good discussion.
It's always interesting how when we're reading, we're like, oh my god, this character doesn't make any sense being here. Nobody's like that.
Yeah.
And author, what are you doing?
Mm.
And then, but like, people are weird. Like I've known people who will just
I've known
do
people.
shit
Yeah.
like for no reason. Like it makes no sense that you are doing this, but you do it anyway for some unknown reason. Like,
Yeah.
I had a
For some kick out of life.
I knew someone in well, I guess middle school through high school who was just an awful kid. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't like disruptive or anything. He was just mean to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
and I asked him like multiple times, like, why do you do this? Like,
Yeah.
you're not, nobody likes you.
Doing
But
this.
and
Yeah. Uh-huh.
genuinely, it's reached the point where you are not liked.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like, well, I want that to be the case. I want to not be liked. Like
Huh.
there are just people like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
I don't know what I don't know if that's 100% true. Like he just wanted to not be liked, or if that was a defense mechanism or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I tried to be nice to him, but you just couldn't, because there would be no point,
Yeah.
because he would just always be that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's definitely very irrational people in the world, and it's funny how we look at characters in books and think, no, they're too irrational.
Yeah. 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 Because you assume, like, we know rationality. We know, like, this is a stupid decision. Now, in some cases, characters do make really silly decisions that are meant for the plot. But, I mean...
Like, it always bothers me when a character does something that seems out of character. Like, it's like, why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. But I had a moment in one of my campaigns, which is actually it's a really good campaign with a lot of like inner character, like personality stuff. And our basically paladin, like I try to always do the right thing. Like we rocked up at a place, someone made him mad, and he just like red, like all he saw was red, and he just fucking killed him out of
Oh,
nowhere.
wow.
And we all just like piled on, and it was a weird moment because we were all like as players we're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Like processing that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was his wife was telling me later that he
Mm-hmm.
was actually like upset after that because he'd done that.
Oh.
And it's like that, it just sometimes that shit just happens. Like people do
Yeah.
stuff out of character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I there, I guess it's, if it's obvious that it's like, oh, they just did that to further the plot,
Yeah, yeah.
then it's like, uh, ugh. But in general, people make those incongruous decisions.
Yeah.
Like,
There is a level of unpredictability with
yeah.
actions. Yeah.
And
And
I
attentions.
have a friend from the Syracuse
Mm.
area
Mm.
who he was telling me about how he used to be like a monster of a kid,
Mm.
like the threaten people with knives in school kind of, like
Mm.
I'm gonna beat people up, I'm just gonna actively seek out people to beat up, kind of
Mm.
like proper problem child.
Yeah.
And like some people are just like that. He's not like that anymore. He's seen the error of his ways or whatever, gone through enough counseling that he's able to look back on that and be embarrassed. But like in general, those people definitely exist. The Johns of the world exist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not.
It's
It's
sad,
yeah.
but yeah. Yeah, it's a reality for sure.
So it is just those. It's yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do we want to continue? I might do the next two chapters together.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
Actually, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I
no
gotta
worries.
fill my water.
No worries.
I'm out.
Get thirsty. Get hydrated. I will check my phone because I got a text. Many texts, in fact. My goodness, I'm popular. God, so many notifications. I need to change this up. I need to get rid of some notifications. Probably afterwards. Oop. What's going on Discord? Let's see. Ah, true. There was a podcast recording I could have been a part of, but I was like, nope, I got book club. That's okay. I'm going to be on another podcast episode next Monday.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Just checking my phone. Okay.
Do you keep all of our viewers entertained?
So entertained. Almost as if they're just all so polite. It's almost as if I'm talking to myself.
Didn't like 3 or 4 people vote for this book?
Yeah,
And then
I
just
think so.
not read it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the end of the year. I get it, but yeah.
Fair enough. Ew, I don't want to read classic lit.
I'm busy. Alright, I'll do chapters 14 and 15, because they were all in the same location. Yes.
Word.
Okay. Chapter 14. John rushes to the hospital, which I didn't mention, that is where he got the phone call from, where Linda lies in her bed, dying, but seeming blissful. He angrily pulls her out of her content state in an attempt to force her to remember his name and face. But this accelerates her death as John solemnly leaves the hospital room after having feeling that he killed his mother. Chapter 15.
Do,
John.
do you think do you think he actually killed her, or that was just a bad coincidence?
I mean, I knew she was already dying. I do think that he accelerated it because I think it sounds like she couldn't breathe and then just like went limp. I don't, yeah.
I didn't read that as, I mean, obviously he thought that's what happened, but I didn't read that as he did. I mean, it's like someone on their deathbed can die at any moment.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's because I didn't know necessarily how she was going to die. Like I assumed that she would just be in that blissful state and then just stop breathing but not realize that she was not breathing and then just, go limp. But when he pulled her out of it, I guess you could say, I feel like, because you could also say that he pulled her out of it and then she's still going through the process of being slowly killed, basically, but she's now out of the Soma state. She's off vacation. So she's like, oh god,
You like the shock.
Yeah. I assumed it was a shock.
Shaking itself that killed her.
No, she was just like,
He shook her, then she was
John.
fine for a bit, and then she died.
Yeah, and before he shook her, she was calling for Pope, which she thought, I think she had some idea when she was still in that kind of blissful state that she thought John was Pope, which made him angry and violent and shook his mother away because he was like, no, it's me, it's John, and so that whole thing. Yeah, I think it was a shock thing. I also should mention that he was also quite on edge because I'd mentioned earlier, but a bunch of kids were brought in to be death conditioned, so they were kind of gawking at her body because she was old and saggy and not looking like the other people in the hospital.
Goblin.
Basically, yeah. And John is like, they're swarming her, they're mocking her, like they're basically maggots. Like he just does not have any good time. He doesn't want. I'm pretty sure he like boxes one in the face and just like tosses him aside. It's like, go away. Yeah. But yeah, that's the whole scene there. And then in chapter 15, John starts an uproar in the hospital proclaiming Soma to be poison. Bless you. And chucking pill bottles. Bernard and Helmholtz catch wind of this, and Helmholtz rushes to help John while police calm the crowd with Soma vapor. Bernard is taken in, or not just Bernard. Bernard, Helmholtz, and John are taken in. So John wanted to start a hospital riot.
And Bernard's like, I'm gonna help.
And Helmholtz is like, fuck yeah, let me at him. Helmholtz is like the best in this whole scene. He was like, haha, I love this.
On God.
Okay, kinda. Yeah, because of everything that happened with Lenina, I was unsurprised that this all happened. And I did think that maybe the shock kind of killed her faster, basically. But I also thought that, I mean, again, I didn't really know where the book was going, but I had this idea that maybe, like, John would start some kind of, like, he would rally people together and be like, oh, yeah, society's hecked, like, we need to go back to the way things were, and I mean, the riot is basically calmed down by the police with Soma vapor, with Soma water guns.
I mean, if you think about it, these people have been programmed. You can't unprogram them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to explain to them that what your experience is, but like when you're programmed like that from birth in such an invasive way,
Mm-hmm.
you need that invasive way to remove it again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
I see. Yeah.
I think it's a losing battle.
Mm-hmm.
If the only way to truly stop that from happening would be to actually change the way that people are created.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd need to like overthrow the Big Ten in charge or whatever, or convince them or whatever, and then actually change the types of things that you're training people. I don't think you could retrain the current generation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think
Maybe you
that
could, but
I feel like that's a major theme in the book. Like, it's you just can't really change how people like are either raised or made,
Mhm.
because they're so set in their ways, and that's all they know. Uh, and they have like uh measures to deal with outbursts like this, which is a little interesting too, because I actually thought, I wondered if maybe they ever experienced other similar outbursts. But the police also just might deal with stuff
I
like
mean,
similar thing.
they have police, so
Yeah,
that
so something.
brings up a whole question
Yeah,
of if it is such a perfect society, why do
why
you
do they
have
have
police?
police? Yeah, yeah,
What are
and
they?
that's not actually something that he touches on,
Mm-mm.
but it is an interesting question. Because it feels like something in a society where you are where it's built around the idea of being happy and just living easily, like living with ease. For the fact
And
that
not
they're
having emotions too.
and not yeah, um, for there to be police involved, I guess it's just like a safety measure in case something happens, because but that leads to like the question of like something other things must have happened in the past.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's like he does mention like it's known to happen that there's mistakes made in the assembly line. You get some duds. Maybe that's what the police are there for in case that sort of thing happens.
Yeah, there was that that person who ended up living longer because Lenina was thinking about John, and she was working on the
Oh
assembly
yeah.
line, and she just forgot to put a dose of poison in or whatever. So then there's just like one line where Aldous just goes like, and that person lived to be a lovely age of like 62 or something, right? Like,
I, that and like something specific happened as well.
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
remember
know
what
where that
chapter
was
that
in the
was,
book.
sadly, um, but I laughed at that. It was funny. Um, yeah. So at first I was like kind of surprised at how quickly everything was quiet. It was like calmed down, but at the same time, like everything made sense. I think I kept having this feeling that it was gonna be like I was expecting, like this book just kept dashing my expectations in a good way. I actually kind of preferred this because it didn't really match anything of how I thought it would go.
Uh,
Yeah.
Another thing that keeps happening throughout the book, whilst it is like, oh, you can't change the way people are programmed, there does seem to be they try to squash emotions, but it doesn't work. Like like
Well, the whole
uh
orgy is the closest that we get to, I think, like emotions without control. You know?
well yeah, but like Lenina suddenly gets emotions about John,
Yes, and
and
she doesn't really understand
um
them.
like there's a few other places where people just suddenly get emotions. The director just gets emotions suddenly,
Yep. And then he
and
goes on leave.
that
He takes a
and that
vacation.
whole crowd starts fighting back, and
Oh
like
yeah, they start punching. Yeah.
it's like so at least that part of it doesn't seem to stick.
Yeah. And maybe that is them being like, we can't fix these mistakes, so we make something to put in place to correct them, at least for
Yeah.
a time. And then bring Soma in, because Soma seems to be the one thing that can just fix it's the problem solver serum.
So that tells what that tells me, I think, is we can't remove emotions. We've tried.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, we're just going to tell people, if you start to have an emotion, take your emotion pill.
Yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, that sounds like it, to be honest. The only emotion they can really feel is that's like, you should feel this, is happiness. Is some form of joy. But that's because you're taking the pill half the time.
But you're not supposed to experience too much joy, though.
No. Enough for the society. Don't be too happy. Yeah.
Because
That's
a strong feeling is bad or whatever. I don't remember what the explanation was, but
Yeah. If they don't have control, society falls apart. So they need to keep that. Yeah. Any other thoughts about these chapters?
no.
What?
Which chapter was the ass pinching chapter?
I didn't. So I said I didn't summarize it. I think it was 13. No, it was. I think it was 12. I think it was around 11 or 12. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was before he decided not to come out of his room, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Bernard was living the high life, and he was like, "Oh fuck yeah, we're gonna go places. You're gonna go to lectures, and I'm gonna be a creep." Yeah. Okay. We could probably do the next two chapters actually together because they're a continuation. So chapter 16 and 17. So 16. Mustafa Mond confronts the group and explains to John that society, built on Ford's ideas, favors happiness and simplicity, and sacrifices art and science for stability. He also explains that that Bernard and Helmholtz will be sent to islands as their punishment, though Mustafa understands it to be a gift. And then 17 is Mustafa explains to John that their society has done away with God, with the thoughts and musings of philosophers, with pain and suffering, so they have no need of it. After a spirited discussion, John remains unconvinced and chooses to stand against the society.
That conversation was very interesting.
It was, yeah.
For a number of reasons, one of which was at no point did Mustafa not have a very good rebuttal to something John said.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we thought about that. This is why that's wrong.
Yep. Yeah, it's there is a scene a bit near the beginning of I think chapter 16 where he brings out he brings out a Shakespearean book, and I think he brings out probably some, I don't think it's the Bible, but he brings out some like Christian text that talks about. Is it the Bible? Okay, cool. I couldn't remember.
He brings out a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah.
And he quotes some of them.
Mm-hmm. So like he knows all of this. It seems like the way that he describes it is he's kind of like one of the few who's like burdened by knowledge, but he is the world controller, so that's why. Like he's like, I've got this. I'm gonna hide this away. Yeah.
He's the European controller specifically.
Right. So there's other world controllers.
I think there is a like the world controller person.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Gotcha.
I think that's how I read that.
Okay. But yeah, it was very interesting. Like you were saying, like all of his rebuttals that he had, because he was like, no, we thought of that. Like, this is why we don't believe in God. And most of his like explanation was that we don't teach them, like, we don't allow them to read the Bible. We don't allow them to read Shakespeare because they won't understand it. They're like the way we have formed our society, it just doesn't make sense to them. And so we have no need of it. So that's fine. And then there's John, who's like so set in his beliefs that it feels like a really interesting point, and one of the few points I think where John like it's a space that allows this character to actually think about what are the pros, what are the potential pros to the society, like why are they doing this, and it makes sense, like it, like everything that he says, I'm like, yeah, you know what, with how you've got society set up, that rationally makes sense. And it allows John the option to like make a choice in the end. Is he going to be set in his ways in terms of like what he believes in after talking with Mustafa, or is he going to see some, you know, have some understanding of what he's saying and then make a choice from there? Because we don't often get a, like, there's only a few scenes in the book where we have discussions between characters where they talk about, like, here's my view, and they try to understand one another. The only one I can really think of is when John shows Shakespeare to Helmholtz, and Helmholtz is like, okay, I'll listen. He laughs at a few things, but for the most part, he's like, oh, okay, this is very interesting. And in the end, I mean, John still goes with, like, I don't believe this is right, and I'm gonna do my own thing. And I'm pretty sure the end of that chapter, of chapter 17, is just John saying, well, I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna go and do my own thing. And I'm pretty sure Mustafa either says good luck or, like, you know, have a good life, basically. But it's kind of like threatening in a way.
These are the chapters that made me actually kind of like Mustafa.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Until he said, no, you can't go to the island. That was a bit of dickish.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to go here. Nope.
We've identified that you're not happy here in this place where happiness is the priority. And no, you can't go to the place where you think you might be happy and be happy. Fuck you.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that I agree. That was a little it's a little weird. But yeah, these were really interesting chapters. I remember, like, really pouring into them when I was just like, oh, this is really neat. Because we also don't... I think this is the first time where we get an explanation, like, from a character who we now know has, you know, has some knowledge of texts that the reader might have read, or at least knows of. So there is some... It forms a connection a little bit more with the reader, between Mustafa and the reader. And so now that there's a slight connection, now it allows the reader to be like, oh, okay, so now I'm going to try to understand why the society is set up like this. Because up to that point, the reader is just given an opportunity to just, like, make their own assumptions or just, like, decisions about how they feel about the society. For the most part, it's fucked. Like, it's a little strange and a little bit just a lot disconnected in a lot of different ways. But up to that point, we've only really had characters who represent, like, two very strong ends of what they feel is morally right or wrong. Like, there's people who live in society who are like, this is what we know, and there's people like John who have different experiences and are like, well, I'm right because I grew up on this, and this is art and philosophy and everything. So this is the first scene where the reader actually has the opportunity to be like, oh, okay, so what Mustafa is saying makes sense. And then you can kind of make your own decision on if, like, you know, if you agree with him or not. You don't have to, but because you're just reading it. But I felt like I was like I was doing that. I was like, do I think that, like there's aspects of the society that I'm like, yeah, I think that would be pretty good. Like, ultimately, like, we talked about death conditioning, and it makes sense as to why they did it. But again, it seems that Aldous is not seeking to make some kind of moral judgment or some answer to a problem. He's just like presenting, here's a bunch of perspective. Here's one major society. Here's a reservation which seems quite a bit different, and here's a bunch of characters who all believe in how they've been, how they've grown and what they know. And now here's an opportunity to make your own judgments if you want. Now that you have both sides, anyway.
Yeah, the book definitely reads as a prediction of the future, more so than a lesson.
Mm-hmm. Which is totally what I was I was ready for a lesson. I was like, this is a classic novel. It's dystopian. There's gonna be some like I'm gonna join the Rebel Alliance and fight, and the society sucks. So in a way, I was kind of pleasantly surprised with this. I like that it's a little bit of an observation. It feels like a scientific text in a way.
In an interesting way, a lot of like classic literature we read, we think of it as being this really like rigid, like here, this is outlining all the morals of life. But I don't think a lot of them do. Some of them do, but for the most part, I don't think they do. I think where we get that idea is when we are told to look at them analytically. We have those discussions, we write about those things. So it's not necessarily that the books are about that, it's that the books are about life, and life has those things in them.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like Great Gatsby, for example. I mean, you could say, oh, it's a lesson about not being extravagant. Like don't be over
Icarus flew too close to the sun, that whole thing.
It's not it really, though. Like at no point is somebody punished for that thing, or it's just something bad happened because of that. The only time that something like really bad happens, it just happens.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Gatsby's just shot because somebody isn't it like the ex-lover of her girl?
I don't even remember from the movie.
I don't remember, but like it's not about his extreme greed. It was just like something that it was just a normal dispute.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
But I mean, there's definitely books where the author was like, I'm gonna write a moral, and
yeah.
But I would say most of the classic literature I've read is not that.
Yeah, I'm thinking a bit back to a classic lit book that I read in October, which was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which definitely does have some kind of message, but I feel like it is a little bit more of a warning, like a cautionary tale.
It feels more like a philosophical discussion.
Yeah.
Than an actual warning or lesson.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously it's don't make artificial life. That's not.
That's not the main. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's don't judge a book by its cover, but I don't think that's really the point. I think that's just along for the ride. Yeah,
it's exploring the horrors of like what can happen if someone plays God, more or less. If you make something that goes against nature.
Well, there's definitely this is the monster, but the real monster, or like the real horror is us.
Oh yeah.
Even though he is the monster.
Yeah, because it's what the monster experiences that drives him to do certain things. Now, I mean, I will say he is a little bit murderous, but Like that seems a little wildly unexplained, but
I mean, he's created as a grown ass man. Like he
yeah.
basically made a baby man. Like
Yeah.
he's. Have you ever seen a baby show remorse? Like
Yeah, well, it's so that's why that's why there's parts where I'm just like, oh, like he does actually like just straight up kill a kid, and he kind of just does it to get Victor's attention because he's trying to be like, hey, yo, you left me. I was like, oh, okay. But at the same time, there's a lot that happens where he's shown, you know, like the worst parts of humanity, who like are like, oh, it's a monster, and then they try to shoot him or slash at him or something when but then there's like human goodness that he experiences. So it's a bit of, he's experiencing everything that humanity has to offer in the span of like well, a book, but like in the span of like a couple weeks or months, or actually no, I think it's 2 years, over the span of 2 years.
it
Yeah.
feels less like a lesson or a warning than it does a question of
What does it mean? You're saying
what happens if, or what happens if a new soul is just plopped into the world?
yeah.
How do they experience the world? What would that world look like to them? I think that's more of the
Yeah.
question it's answering.
Not to mention like just an exploration of like humanity in general. Like just like what does it mean to be human? It's this creature experiencing it. I know that's a bit of a rambling, but I brought it in because it felt similar to that statement of like, it doesn't, a lot of classic lit doesn't necessarily have a moral message.
I'm trying to think of one that has like a clear defined, this is what I'm trying to teach you, and I'm struggling.
I mean, other than like Shakespeare, like Shakespeare definitely has like,
Sometimes,
fair enough. Yeah.
not always.
Yeah. Like Macbeth, I would say has more. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
What would you say the lesson of Macbeth is? Don't kill your
Don't
uncle.
kill your uncle. Don't let vengeance corrupt. Basically, because it. I mean,
okay.
I don't know. That's the only one I can think of though. Because it could also just be like, hey, we're just gonna explore what vengeance does to a man.
Nah, I mean it feels like this is what happens when you let vengeance control you. It is bad. Don't
Yeah, yeah. But that's the only thing like I can think of for that. So,
like no good comes of it. There's no there's no both sides. It's just like this is how his life fell apart because he did a thing that was bad.
Basically, don't do that. Don't kill your uncle. Yeah. But
Hamlet too, same thing.
yes, Hamlet too. Yeah.
Wait, no, Hamlet, he killed his uncle. Macbeth was.
Oh shit, you're right. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of
Macbeth-
Hamlet. Macbeth is
He killed his wife.
no, his wife killed.
Oh yeah,
His wife did
killed
something.
his
There's blood on
rival.
her hands. Yeah. And witches involved. I've never actually read Macbeth. I just kind of know the story generally.
I have read Macbeth. I don't remember why.
School?
If it was maybe it was for school.
I read a lot of Shakespeare
get
for
both.
school.
I
So
I vaguely remember writing about it, so it must have been for school.
fair. But yeah, these two chapters were super interesting. I was glad that we had them. Similar to you, like after I read them, I was like, oh, I like that we got an interesting angle to Mustafa's character. So, because up to that point, he was just like a powerful figure that kind of like worked in the shadows.
The other than the orgy, that was my favorite part of the book.
Can't beat orgy porgy.
Needs more explicit. Like this needs to be X-rated, man. What the hell?
Shall I?
The movie of this has got to be so horny.
Oh yeah, I've never seen the movie. I'm sure they're.
Gee, I wonder how they handled that.
When was the movie made? Was there several?
I think there's several.
It's a classic lit book, so I imagine.
I haven't seen any of them, I don't think. I mean, when I search Brave New World movie, I get
Captain America. Oh my god.
I gotta put Aldous Huxley on.
That's a good plan.
Inspired several screen adaptations, most notably 2 major American TV movies in 1980 and 1998.
Ooh, I see them.
Plus a 2020 TV series on Peacock.
Aldous Huxley and the Brave New World. What's this?
Yeah, Brave New World has model face syndrome.
Oh no.
Sorry, the newer one.
Oh.
Of course, I guess they are supposed to basically be models.
Fair. I kind of want to watch them. I bet they're okay. At some point I will.
1998 one stars Peter Gallagher, Leonard Nimoy, and Tim Guinea.
Nice. That's pretty cool, actually.
Who's Peter Gallagher again? Why, that name very much rings a bell.
I don't know him by name, but I know I've heard the name.
I vaguely recognize him, but I don't remember what I would know him from, if anything.
Fair.
He was in American Beauty, which I haven't seen.
Mm.
The one where Kevin Spacey's a pedophile.
Oh, great. Shall I read the last chapter?
And
by
it's
the
a
way,
comedy, I think. I don't remember.
Mm.
Yeah, read the last chapter.
It's pretty beefy. I did slim it down to 1 page, but chapter 18, the final chapter. John reconciles to live far away in an abandoned lighthouse to be alone, building up a garden.
Johnny Eat World.
Johnny Eat World.
He says I ate society.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He says where is it? 18, there it is. I say, you do look ill, John. Did you eat something that didn't agree with you? Asked Bernard. Savage nodded.
I ate society. Yeah.
What?
Didn't agree with me.
It poisoned me. I was defiled, and then I ate my own wickedness. Fucking what?
He just likes
Turns
to
out
speak
he's
in
just bulimic.
Yeah. Building up a garden and hunting game to sustain himself, he soon catches the attention of reporters, as well as a Feely director, who, without consent, films John punishing himself with a whip at the lighthouse. This Feely spurs masses to swarm John's home, including Lenina, who John violently whips in a fit of rage. The crowd quickly becomes a swirling mass of violence and orgy? Question mark?
Yeah, it's super unclear.
Yeah.
At what point does he acquire Soma? Like, 'cause he's whipping her, and then suddenly he wakes up from a Soma high.
I get the feeling that maybe the police came in, because I think he said it was they mentioned like Soma vapor, and only the police have been. I've only seen the police use it.
I don't remember them mentioning Soma vapor during this.
I don't have the book in front of me, but that's fair.
I'm looking at it.
Fair. I think I read that. He might have just like taken it in the swirl of sexy violence. I don't know.
The orgy porgy implies that they had been drugged.
Yes.
The fact that they started orgy porgying, because that's what they do when they get drugged.
When they get drugged, yeah. So after violently whipping her, ashamed of what he has done after he wakes up, John presumably hangs himself. The novel ends with reporters unsure of his whereabouts, despite his feet dangling from the second floor of the lighthouse. Or an upper floor. Doesn't have to be second floor necessarily, but. And then the novel ends kind of strangely, in terms of wording. I actually don't really know. I feel like this was intentional, but I don't know why. He ended on by saying that the people who enter the lighthouse, like after we know that John has hung himself, the people end up going like right, then or west, then south, then southwest, then
Not the
northwest.
people, it's his feet. He's rotating.
Oh, okay. I misinterpreted that, or I misread that. Then cool. Never mind.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Let me see, get the exact.
I thought it was like they were looking for him.
Slowly, very slowly, like two unhurried compass needles, the feet turned toward the right, north.
Oh, okay. I misread that then.
East, blah 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 blah.
Cool, but that is still a really interesting way to end it, I guess. Very dark, of course.
It just kind of stops. It's like, oh yeah, he died.
Yeah.
The end.
And ascribing like, I mean, he very easily just could have been like, and slowly the legs rotated, and that was it. like it was the fact that he had all these directions where I was like, what does that mean?
It really makes you imagine it. Like he's actually saying, and then the legs turned that way, and then the legs turned that way. So
that's fair.
Kind of forces you to literally watch these legs as they turn.
That's fair. Yeah, more descriptive wording. That's true. And comparing it to a compass needle. That's fair enough. But yeah, I was like, oh wow. This whole chapter I was like, oh my god. Like I was like, okay, he's gonna go and live by himself. Society's not really gonna bug him. Maybe they will at some point. But just the fact that like it comes back to a little bit of that point that I was saying about like how you can't really fight society or how people act if that's how they've been raised, because he said, I'm gonna go against society, I'm gonna live alone, and they still came for him, and it feels like to him, because of everything that happened, they forced him to, well, not really, but maybe he was like, he felt awful that he whipped Lenina violently. He felt awful that he was around those people, and then he woke up and he was like, the only thing that can absolve me is to kill myself, basically. And we assume that, well, I assumed that he killed her. I don't know for sure though. Just how he reacted, I assume yes, but because he didn't really seem to be so bothered when he like shoved her. Like he didn't like want to whip himself after that when she was in his room before he went to the hospital.
True. Maybe he did. I don't know.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I'm just looking to see if I can figure out what
was the Soma thing?
Reason for being there was.
Because
I don't think she was one of the tourists.
No.
She was trying to help him.
Yeah, I think she like it feels like she kept her distance because, I mean, honestly, like this whole thing probably happened pretty quickly soon after he did that. But she probably was like, oh, I'm still in love with him. I'm still infatuated. Like, even though that's what he said to me, maybe she thought that she could change his mind or something. And she could be like, yeah, just come to society. We'll be fine. We'll fall in love. We'll have sex every day. Like, but I don't know for sure because we don't really get anything from her. She is saying something when she arrives, but it's drowned out by the helicopter, I think. Like, I don't think he can hear her.
Oh, that's it. No, he can't hear her.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't pick up on that. So he hits her a few times.
Okay.
He like twice.
Yeah.
And then the next thing he does is hit himself.
Mm. Okay. So he's aware.
And he hits himself and says, kill it, as he hits himself. And
Oh,
then
I missed that. Okay.
the frenzy of his gesture striking at one another as the savage struck his own rebellious flesh, or at that pump. Oh, so he's alternating. He's
He's whipping her and then whipping himself.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So in a way it's so that's a scene where um he is overcome by a feeling of rage when he sees her. But at the same time he knows that to him that is wrong. So he's whipping himself, but he's going between both, so he's kind of like he's got a lot of conflicting emotions probably going on right now. Plus, everyone is always also like, yeah, violence, and also now we're gonna have sex. Like, everything just becomes a big chaotic mess. Like,
It's still not clear to me that she died.
they don't. He doesn't outright say it. The only thing that I feel like hints at it is his reaction, but his reaction could honestly just be like, "Oh my god, I whipped her," you know. Because we just don't really get a mention of what happened to her. Like, they don't say like her lifeless body lay there. You know, they just say he whipped her, right?
The last time she's mentioned is that she's writhing,
Yeah,
and then she's never referred to again.
yeah. And her body wasn't left there because he was alone when he woke up, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it feels like it's always a little bit unclear whenever the orgy happens, which I mean might honestly be intentional because it's kind of like drug induced and you wake up and you just don't remember stuff sometimes. Like just the strength. Not that Soma does that is the weird thing, but
It's just I wish there was some indication of where the Soma came from. That's the one that bothers me. The orgy happening is like whatever, but at what point did he get Soma?
yeah.
Like at least just say, and then like a cloud of Soma
Yeah.
covered them,
It covered the
as the police
field.
showed up or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But it's just he's whipping. Then he wakes up
Yep.
with having been stupefied by Soma
Yeah.
and exhausted by a long drawn frenzy of sensuality,
Yeah.
which is what led me to believe
The orgy. Right.
that he just orgied and they fucked, and
Yeah.
that's what bothered him.
Which I mean could also be that. He's also very much against sex before marriage, so yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
so it might
super
actually
not
not
clear
be,
what happens.
yeah. Which I wonder if it's intentional. I don't maybe, I don't know. Like it's
I wouldn't be surprised if it's intentional.
yeah. I just don't really know why. And maybe
You know what?
maybe the reason is that we just need to know that he just engaged in a bunch of stuff that he was so morally against.
What happens at the end of Brave New World?
What do people think? Oh, shit.
So the first thing that comes up on Reddit is John decides he wants to flay himself to be free of sin, is raped, and he commits suicide. What? I guess if he's forced to be in an orgy.
Oh, if he's forced to be an orgy, yeah.
The Spark Note says the spectators begin an orgy in which John takes part. The next day, overcome with guilt and shame, he kills himself.
Yeah, so it's unclear. That is an interesting suggestion though.
Yeah, the Spark Notes doesn't mention that she dies.
Okay. Yeah, which I mean is fair because we don't
And it
actually
also
get
doesn't
confirmation.
explain where the orgy comes from. It just happens, and then he's part of it.
Yeah. And it's like society is just so strongly like they're gonna investigate like, oh, this person's doing something different. They're alone. Why should they be alone? Why would they want to be alone? And so they're like drawn to that, and then it gets to the point where they just like swarm him, and I feel like that's just like he's just so overcome by everything that he just decides like, I can't live here. I can't live in this society.
Gonna die at the end of Brave New World. I mean, I just want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Like, surely somebody asked him this question.
Fair.
The AI says yes.
Okay.
Let's look at Quora. No. This question's asked a lot, and the answer seems to be no or not known. But I disagree with this conclusion.
Hmm. I think the answer is we don't know. Up to interpretation.
This is wrong. The scene culminates in John publicly whipping himself in a frenzied ritualistic attempt at atonement, then accidentally exposing himself to the crowd. The mob reacts, during the chaos, John runs into the lighthouse and hangs himself.
That is entirely wrong.
Straight up not what happened.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, your answer's wrong then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing no real answer.
That's fair. It's a shame that that's kind of how Lenina's character ends up, though. Like, we don't know really what happens with her. We know that she gets horribly whipped and she's writhing, but yeah, I think that was a bit of a bummer for me because I was hoping for a little bit more from her character. Same with Bernard, but Bernard's an asshole, so.
Cliff Notes claims he just yields to it. Like, it's not a... Like, he gets into the orgy because everyone's like, ooh, we're gonna do orgy.
I imagine if he wakes up and he's like, I've been stupefied by Soma, I'm imagining someone got it into his system somehow. Maybe it was the police. Doesn't sound like something would have had to break it up, I imagine, at some point. And I think at that point he would have been like, oh yeah, because he wouldn't have any sense of himself.
As he explains in his foreword to Brave New World, Huxley later regretted his decision not to give John a third choice, a middle way between the Savage Reservation and the world of London.
Interesting.
So I was right.
Ish, yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. But also very sad that he ends up hanging himself, but
the word sensual there does some pretty heavy lifting.
Yeah.
A frenzy of sensuality is a...
Yeah.
So that's my Friday night.
But yeah, what a way to end. Yeah, overall I it was a book that definitely made me feel uncomfortable, but I kept in the like in the intended ways, I think.
It didn't feel like I have to force myself to keep reading this. It just felt like this is uncomfortable.
Yeah. The only time where I was like, oh god, I hope I can keep reading this was at the reservation point, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna keep going. And then that was fine. I was like, okay, I understand where this is going. So, and I mean, it poses a lot of interesting discussion. I mean, we talked for the past, what, like 4 hours, basically, about just like so many aspects of the book, and it was really interesting. And
philosophy and detail as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hence why we keep saying we can see why this is studied classic lit,
Yeah.
like more so than just the ideas in it,
Yeah.
like this society, just the way it kind of triggers these discussions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm intrigued to maybe read more Huxley now that I know that I'm like, you know what, this is really interesting.
Do all of his books are all of his books basically just drawn out orgies? I hope so.
God, I hope so. um, yeah, it
They just keep
was.
getting more and more horny until he just writes Orgy the book.
um, yeah, it was really good. It's an interesting book to end on 2025. It's a very somber book, but um, it's an interesting one. It's also the 20th book that I've read this year. Very exciting.
It's also interesting reading this right now because for the most part it seems like Brave New World is more accurate than 18 or 1982,
1984, I think it is.
1984, whatever it is.
I think so.
Um so and for a long time people have been like, oh, okay, yeah, all this Huxley got it right, but right now
Hmm.
it's very much swung the other way.
Yeah.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
well, also at the interestingly in the letter that he sent at the back,
Mm.
he basically says, I think 1984 is going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. But
Hmm.
then it's going to become
My
Brave New World
Brave New
after
World.
that.
Interesting. See, I haven't read. I think I started reading 1984, but I haven't finished it. Um, maybe that'll be a book that I can add for maybe not the holidays, but sometime in the new year. I'll start reading it because I have a copy somewhere.
I feel that the nightmare of 1984 is destined to modulate into the nightmare of a world having more resemblance to that which I imagined in Brave New World,
Mm.
is what he said.
Interesting. Fair enough.
Ah, meanwhile, of course, there may be a large-scale biological and atomic war, in which case we shall have nightmares of other and scarcely imaginable kinds. Thank you again for the book.
She's such a chipper fellow.
So, actually, that's where that atomic thing. So that was 1969 when he wrote that. So
Oh,
that
okay.
completely changes the whole thought.
Okay. Cool, cool.
So that letter was where I read that.
Gotcha.
It wasn't in the book.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, that's oh, before we end, I was gonna update our Excel sheet to mark this as finished. And I can tell you what number, how many books you read for book club today, this year. Let's see. Yeah, book club books. Okay. So Red Rising, finish
I
that.
forgot to change the session number. Oops.
Brave. Yeah,
I changed everything else.
Aldous, Huxley, December 2025. Okay. So, we have read a little bit less, but there were, I think some of these were a little bit longer, and also we took some breaks. We read 6 books this year.
How many did we read last year?
A lot. Actually no, maybe not a lot. Okay, we only read we read 7 last year. So actually not that much more.
Okay. How many books have we read in total?
In total, we have read 15.
How long have we been doing this?
October 2020, or no, sorry, that's the date finished. April 2023.
Okay, so coming up on 2 years.
Yes, April 26th is the date that we started in 2023.
And also, if we didn't announce it already, we're gonna have a holiday break.
Yes.
Probably come back sometime in January.
Yeah, and we'll figure out
Hopefully.
what next book we want to do. I might revamp the list a little bit. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. There's still some books I want to keep on there, but maybe there's some that I recommended where I'm like, eh.
I need some time for holidays and just to sort life stuff out.
Yes, yes.
So I need a break from everything and just go like bury myself in a hole.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's understandable. I would have had no time to read anyway over the holidays. I got so many plans. So many family things.
You know how people are terrified of being buried alive?
Yeah, because I am.
I want to be buried alive, but with like a snorkel. Like, I think that would feel really nice. Not like 6 feet under buried alive, but
Oh,
like,
okay. Just
like completely covered with dirt to the
Ugh.
point where it's like actually pressing down on me, but I have no
Yeah.
snorkel.
Cool. I would hate
The only
that.
terrifying part about that is who knows what people could put in the
Throw into the snorkel, yeah.
or if it rains, like.
Yeah, just drown yourself real quick.
But I don't know. I just think that would feel really good. It's like a weighted blanket, and also just
and
pure
and
like
air, like clean air, like no obstructions. Yeah.
yeah, and also sensory deprivation, just floating.
Yeah, fair enough. I would not be able to not think that I was buried, and I would not like it. I'd be like, oh, get me out.
No, it would probably actually really suck in real life.
I recently watched Kill Bill Part 2, and they have a scene in that where she's trying to get out after being buried alive, and I was like, wow, I guess I really don't like the idea of being buried alive because I'm having an anxiety attack. Excuse me. But anyway.
What was I reading where somebody was buried alive?
I don't know.
Had to be rescued.
Not a book club book, I don't think.
I wasn't reading. It was I think the latest season or maybe the previous to latest season of Umbrella Academy. Klaus is buried alive.
Oh, I haven't seen the latest season. I need to. Yeah.
It's good.
I like Umbrella Academy. It's pretty good.
I do love how seamlessly they added Elliot Page's transition.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
It was done really well.
It was done really, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, it's quite late. It probably should end pretty soon. But we will be back in the new year. We'll probably put out a poll sometime in January and start on the book, I imagine sometime in like mid to late January, something like that. Give people time to get the book, whatever book we get. And yeah, I hope everyone has nice holidays. If you're watching the VOD, maybe it's summertime. I hope you have a great time, whatever time it is for you. And yeah,
or if you're watching from Australia, it's summertime.
True. I have a friend who's in Australia right now, actually. Her and her wife. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go sleep. So thank you for everyone. Thank you, Benji. This was a really good discussion. Even if it was just mostly us just chatting.
A lively one. I don't think we went off topic at all, though.
No, I don't think so.
We deviated, but like.
But it always connected to the discussion usually. Yeah. Well done. Cool.
All right.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. It's been nice knowing you. If you never see me again, it's because I've buried myself alive.
No. So. Okay. Please no. Have a good night.
Or Ice got me for being a dissident.
Jeez.
Those are the two options.
There's two options, yeah. It's one or the other. Alright. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.